to broadcast. This week's theme is mental health. I feel like the past year has been like a very mentally time. Being stuck inside and having your whole routine change. Ugh. So today I decided to, get some interviews from students and teachers about how mental health is dealt with and, any advice, how to deal with it, just all important things.
So, Ms. Mold, how do you think quarantine and online school has impacted the mental health of students and teachers?
So I think mental health generally comes down to just three main things, right? A predisposition of some sort, like some biological systems that are out of whack, stressors, and then the coping strategies that you apply. Now, I think that quarantine and online school has massively impacted by the level of stress that people are experiencing, but also like the coping strategies and isolation from people. I think people can feel quite lonely.
What tips would you give to students who are unfamiliar with mental health, and how can they best support others who have mental health issues that they can't fully understand themselves?
Well, the thing about mental health is that it's something that everybody deals with in their lives. Most research shows that, pretty much half of all people are going to experience mental health stuff, at some point in their lives. And teens are no exception too. Just, I think, recognizing that it's normal for people to have mental health concerns. Be on the lookout for that in yourself, and to be on the lookout for that in your friends and your peers. It's important, I think, to be aware of what some of the symptoms are of either depression or anxiety, and some of those symptoms are like no longer enjoying something that you used to enjoy, having really significant mood and behavior changes. It's really normal for adolescents to have lots of mood changes throughout the day, and having a lot of sleep problems, either sleeping way too much or just not being able to sleep at all, is another real concerning symptom. And then just maybe having a loss of energy or fatigue, or just where you just don't care anymore. I mean, it's really important that if you're concerned about one of your friends or one of your peers, let your friend know that you care about them, that maybe you don't understand how you can help them, but that you care. And that's just really expressing that empathy, where that you care, that you're going to be there for them no matter what, is super important.
What are some mental health tips that you can give our community that can be easily incorporated into a daily or weekly routine?
Thought catching. Notice when you get yourself into those negative thought spirals, the ones that really don't help you, the ones that aren't productive, that are kind of self-destructive.
Take a second to just go away from my work, go somewhere where it's a change of scenery far away from your work, just to let your mind just relax for a little bit.
Trying to adopt an optimistic point of view, and it's really hard if you're depressed to be optimistic, but we have to just remember that this is all going to be over at some point.
Being able to talk about what's happening, or at least if you can't talk to somebody, writing it down in a journal or just letting it out somewhere for yourself is really helpful.
Think about a mental pause button. So think about like a pause button, right? What it looks like. Just imagine one in your mind. And sometimes we just have to pause. Take a breath. Okay, what am I feeling right now? Ooh, I'm really mad, or I'm really, really down. And just being aware of what's going on, rather than just kind of reacting to whatever the feelings are that you're having.
What do you think is the worst advice you've gotten about dealing with your mental health, and how would you correct it?
It's really advice, but my least favorite thing to hear from people is something along the lines of, oh, I never would have expected you to be going through this, or you're the last person I would have thought had mental health issues. I feel like there's already such a stigma around it that it kind of makes me a little upset. It makes me feel in a way worse. One thing that I want people to tell me is it's okay to not be okay, because it totally is, and not everyone is okay all the time, and I think that people need to remember that.
Of course.
Your feelings are valid. It's totally normal to be feeling these things. We've been going through a pandemic for a year, and we've been doing online school for so freaking long, and so it's totally normal for you to be overwhelmed, or all of your emotions are valid.
Although it seems super hard as of this moment, there's gonna be a point where everything is okay. Your mental health is unique for everyone, and I think that just literally giving yourself time to figure out what you need and what you think that will be helpful for you is something that's really important.
I totally agree with that, especially this thing for me, it's know yourself, right? Know how to recognize when you're not feeling so great, and know what's going to work to help make you feel a bit better.
Maybe we don't know when COVID lockdown is going to be over. Maybe we don't know, when things are going to get better, but things will get better. There is a light somewhere at the end of that tunnel, and we have to just kind of remember that and try to stay future focused and think that and remember that and know that things are going to get better.
I hope you enjoyed the video. And just remember that your mental health is super important.
Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.